I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to permanently stop self-sabotage and stay consistent with your goals, because the biggest problem that most people have when it comes to creating what they want is consistently going back and committing to their comfort zone, committing to the old way of being. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going backwards a little bit and falling back. But when people commit to staying in their comfort is when things go wrong. I'm going to be sharing with you how to avoid this problem in this video and permanently remove self-sabotaging yourself and stay consistent with who you prefer to be every single moment. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. And the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to permanently stop self-sabotage and stay consistent with your goals is to, number one, this is what most people are not going to tell you, but this is what you have to do, is to value your state of consciousness more than your goal. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Value your state of consciousness more than your goal, because if you lose yourself in the goal, actually what has happened is that actually the goal is now controlling you. You're not in control of your life. Life is controlling you. You're not in control of your life force energy. Your life force energy has you. And so this is why it's so critical to value the place that you're coming from more than where you're going, in my opinion. Now, knowing where you're going can actually be just as important as the place that you're coming from. But personally, unless I have a rootedness in my being, unless I have a groundedness in who I am, I'm not interested in pursuing any goals from a space of being in my mind and being spacey and being disconnected. And if I am disconnected, what I'll do is I'll jujitsu that and go right into my goals and go right into what I want to create. And again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with going into it like a comfort zone space or something wrong, but you need to learn how to use that to go right back into what it is that you want to create and be who you want. Now, in my experience, all of this happens automatically when you value your state of consciousness more than your goal. It happens automatically. Like, you naturally start to become this kind of person where the things you need to commit to, you'll commit to them. Like for me, most of my problems in every single area of my life, whether that was health, whether that was finances, whether that was in my relationships of any kind, what has happened is that these things auto-corrected themselves when I made it a priority to focus on the place that I'm coming from versus what I need to achieve. The more that I focused on what I need to achieve, honestly, that left me in a position where, I'm not saying that I don't focus on what I need to achieve now, but what I'm saying is that when I made that more of a priority than the place that I'm coming from, and I let myself lose, like I let myself go in not a good way, like in the circumstances. I let myself be sucked in to the circumstances and I lost my groundedness in who I am. What this actually did for me personally was this left me in a space where I couldn't accomplish my goals, nothing worked for me, and nothing was happening in the way that I really wanted. Now, when I made that switch, that internal switch, when I decided to value my state of consciousness more than my goal, everything in my life began to shift. Now, I want to make it clear that in some ways, it's technically not a state, because the place that you come from is prior to any state. But when you do this, you get control over your state, paradoxically and ironically, actually not ironically and not coincidentally, you get access to different states of consciousness because you're not attached to any state of consciousness. So you actually get to feel and experience more states of consciousness. This is just how it works, because when you're not attached, the universe sort of gives you more experiences that perhaps were not even possible in that different level of consciousness. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video, in terms of how to permanently stop self-sabotage and stay consistent with your goals, is to, number two, be okay with falling back and then just get right back into the game. There's nothing wrong with your comfort zone. There's nothing wrong with your ego. One thing that I remember somebody told me, one of my friends was like, Like, she started to actually manifest a lot of things in her life when she stopped trying to kill the ego. When she stopped trying to kill the ego, when she just focused on what she wanted, when she stopped trying to kill the ego, a lot of her issues vanished, and what she wanted started to manifest in her experience. Now, what this is actually telling us is that you need to stop trying to like kill this ego. And if you have a comfort zone that you feel you need to fall back to, just go there and allow that, and then get right back into the game and focus on what you want. It's just that simple. Like, it's okay to be in your comfort zone. Your ego is actually your best friend if you allow it to be, because the ego is just nothing more than just your comfort zone. Like, it's just your homeostasis, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, imagine if you were just expanding, and you never had a choice to slow things down and to go back into your comfort zone. Like, if you never had that choice, you would be in a position where, you're not necessarily having the most fun. Let's just say it like that. You're going to be confused. You're going to be spacey. You're going to feel out of it. Now, when you just allow yourself to go into your comfort zone, you might feel a little bit bored for a little bit, but you'll realize it's a choice. And when you're ready, you go right back into the emotionality of life and the passion and the love and the bliss and the joy. And you go right back and you just get right back into the game. And in fact, I encourage you to take some time to go back into your comfort zone, to go back into ego, like consciously self-sabotage. Like, most people don't talk about this. What if you were just to let yourself self-sabotage forever? Like, if you feel an urge to go back and do something, just go do it. But stay consistent with your goals anyways. You see what I'm saying? If you feel an urge to go back to some old version of yourself, go do it. And then get right back into the game. It's the long-term identity of who you are that we're trying to build here. It's not about the one day you fall off, or the one day that you maybe slip up a little bit, or the one day that something doesn't work exactly how you want. It's about the overall consistency and the long-term identity that you're building up for yourself is what we're focused on here in terms of how to manifest the reality that you really want. And this is about being okay with falling back and just getting right back into the game. You fall back into your comfort zone, no worries. You can even do that consciously, because it's okay to be in your comfort zone. Get right back into the game. The key is to get right back into the game. That's exactly what you need to do if you want to permanently stop self-sabotage in like a way that it actually screws your life up. Because you might still self-sabotage, but it won't screw you up if you just train yourself to get right back into the game. That's really what it's about. Now, the third and final thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to permanently stop self-sabotage and stay consistent with your goals is number 3, understand that the middle way, as they call it in some cultures, creates consistency. This is what creates consistency in your life. When you learn to master the place that you're coming from with every task that you do, and how you show up with what you do, how you manage your energy system, how you manage your energy, how you manage your life force, how you manage the place that you come from. When you learn to manage your energy in this way, what's happening is that this creates an overall consistency where it's like, even if you self-sabotage, you don't even see it as self-sabotage anymore, because it's just you're naturally allowing yourself to go into your comfort zone as needed. And you rest as needed. Like, this is what most people don't understand. They don't rest as needed. You need to rest as needed and then get right back into the game. And sometimes what most people do is they make it very difficult on themselves, because they go in the game, they stay in the game, and then they fall back and blow it all up. And they stay in the game, and then they stay in the game, and then they stay in the game, and then they fall back and they blow it all up. That was the pattern that I was stuck in for a very long time. Create everything that I wanted. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Whoa, that's too much. Lose it all. Fall back right back into who I used to be. No permanent level shifts. To have permanent level shifts, you need to be focusing on the place that you're coming from. I'm going to say this in pretty much every single one of my videos, because this is the message that people need to hear. And you might be thinking like, Francis, I've already heard that before. It doesn't matter. Hear it again. The place that you come from is the most important thing when it comes to manifesting what you want. Hear it again and again and again, because what we think is that we know everything, and then we forget and we go back into the old way of being. We need to say no to that. Okay, leave a comment down below if you're in this energy with me where you're tired of going back to the patterns. I've said no to the patterns for months now. For a long time, I made a choice to say, you know what? I'm done giving my power away. I'm done not being who I really want to be. I'm done not living in the middle way, which is creating a consistent, sustainable, powerful, synergistically, epically amazing world for me that's coming from the place that I actually want. And anybody can manifest this, anybody can step into this if they prioritize the fact that that middle way energy, that middle point energy is what creates the consistency, where you might go back to your comfort zone again, but you won't see it as even self-sabotage anymore. Like, you're thinking like, how do these people like just master their discipline so much and not self-sabotage? Because they stopped running away from what is and they moved through the experience. Because think about it like this. Usually the people that have an insane level of discipline or amazing things in their life that they're consistently working on, that came from moving through a lot of negative experiences that they allowed themselves to feel and to let those self-sabotaging patterns play out until now their self-sabotage maybe is like doing something that's so minuscule that it like won't even affect their life in a negative way. So prior, in the past, their self-sabotage was maybe this big thing that blew things up. Now self-sabotage is like, you do 5 minutes less of meditation. Oh damn, self-sabotage. Doesn't matter. You still have all this epic momentum built in all these things, where like one little comfort zone slip up doesn't actually affect you in the grand scheme of things, and you train yourself to get back in the game, and you start to look at your life from like a more long-term perspective versus like, I want to get this thing right now, like I need this right now. It's like, no, you overall show up from a place of power, and then that is what stops the self-sabotage, is coming from that place of power, coming from that place of consistency. And actually that power creates that consistency, and what you notice is that you stop self-sabotaging, and if you do, it'll be actually very minuscule, it won't affect you negatively. And even though self-sabotaging habits can actually be very powerful conscious rest periods where you create what you want. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well. Also, leave a comment down below if this video was supportive for you in any way. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I read every single comment. Also, please hit that like button so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that actually every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and actually that they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easy way possible, helping themselves and helping others in the process as well. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.